Class 10 students, here we are back with a very important strategic video for all my Class 10 students. If you are someone who is studying sincerely, if you are someone who reads your NCERT thoroughly, make notes, but still you are lacking in scoring full marks in your SST exam, this video is for you. This video is for every student of Class 10 who want to secure full marks in your exam, because this killer answer writing tips are going to help you out in your examination, final examination for CBSE board. So I just want to welcome every student out here at Diksha Vedantu, a YouTube channel exclusively made for Class 10 students. Yes, you heard it right. Everything here is being taught in English because you are going to write your answers in English. And if you want to learn everything, you just need to hit the subscribe button and get notified for the next upcoming videos on our YouTube channel. So my dear students, this is a promise from my side that after following this 10 presentation tips, you are going to get killer marks in your exam. But before that, I want to promise from your side in comment box that yes ma'am, we promise that we are going to follow these tips from you, because we want to make our copy look like this, where we are scoring 80 on 80 in our exams, right? So basically, to secure full percentage in your Class 10th exam alongside maths and science, you need to score very good marks in SST too. And I know this is a subject which might be lengthy for you, which might be boring for you, but here is one skill that can give you very good marks, and that skill is presentation skill. Because today in one of my video, I got a comment that ma'am, I don't study 24/7, but because of my presentation skill, I always score full marks in your exam. And if you want to get full marks, you need to follow this presentation skill. We are starting with our tip number 1. Okay, before moving to the tips, I want you to be concentrated throughout the video, and at last I want you to follow all the tips here. Tip number 1 is basically read the question paper carefully. Use the reading time to read case-based question. So whenever you are appearing for your exam, right, you get the question paper and you also get a reading time of 10 minutes before you start writing. At that time, I have seen students spending time watching here and there, deciding how we will cheat and many more such stuffs. But rather than that, in that particular time, you need to read the paper thoroughly, carefully, particularly. Right? One very smart trick that you can use here is you can read the case-based questions and you can mark the answers in your mind that yes, this is I am going to write in my answer copy. So use that particular time for reading carefully, because if you are reading it very carefully, you can write the answer that is pre-planned in your mind. So follow this first tip. Moving ahead with the second tip, always write section wise, right? This is very important, because what student do now? Yes, we know that we are always being advising you that write the answer which you know the best, right? But in that particular sense, don't mix up your copy in so much parts. Don't mix up the sections in so much part. Rather, I would suggest you always write section wise. That is, if it is section 1, okay, if it is section A, mention the section over here, section A, then write all the MCQs. However, by this year the paper pattern has been changed. The section A will be for history, so you need to write section A, attempt it fully, then move to the next one, that is section B. Okay, always write the heading of section, underline it, so that examiner can get that at one glance what you have attempted. Okay, so this need to be followed. Do not mix up the questions in different sections. Be careful about that. Moving to tip number 3, that is you need to manage your time well, because what happened when we get the question paper, we think that the 3 hours, it is ample of time and we are going to solve it, right? We have good energy at the starting, we focus on every question and spend a lot of time in that questions and we are not aware about it, right? So yes, we have a very lengthy paper for SST and we need to manage time for that. For an example, don't get stuck on one question that you are not able to figure out, because what happens if we are thinking for so long then we are missing the time management for the next question. So never ever do that stuck in a question, spend 15 minutes thinking that what will be the answer. Rather, make a pre-planned time management in which you are going to do 1 marker for 1 minute. You will take only 1 minute to solve the 1 marker MCQ. If you are getting it, then it's okay. If you're not getting it, mark it and then move to the next one. Okay, for 2 marker use 3 to 4 minutes, because here you need to write only 2 points. Okay, 2 concrete points, so 3 to 4 minutes is more than enough for that. For 3 markers you can use 5 to 6 minutes. For 5 markers it is 8 to 9 minutes and this is enough, right? By this, if you are following this strategy, you will definitely get every time 10 extra minutes in the last, because we need to save this minutes so that we can recheck our copy at the last timing. Okay, now we have planned the time management, but we also need to plan the word limits too, right? So here is the tip number 4. Tip number 4 is stick to the word limits, and this is very important, because neither you need to write less than required nor more than the word limit, right? If you are writing everything you know, that is also very wrong, because examiner catch this point, right? They are very smart, they are the examiners. So basically what you need to follow is, for a 2 marker question, the word limit that is provided to us by CBSE, right? By CBSE is 40 words, okay? For 3 marker you need to choose 60 words. For 5 marker it is 120 words. But I know you will not be counting the words over there, na? Then how can you identify that yes, I have completed with 120 words, I have completed with 60 words or 40 words? For that, pay attention, my dear students. You need to practice the answer many times, because in SST what we think that reading is well and enough. No, more than reading, the practice will help you out. So practice the answers in prior so that you can figure out, yes, this is my 2 marker question where I am able to complete this 40 word limit. Okay, see here I have added a picture for a 2 marker, a perfect strategy to follow a 2 marker question where you can use 2 points to write the answer, right? And this is very concrete. I have underlined every keyword, every important word, and given a person 2 marker question. By this, definitely I can get 2 marks over here. Okay, moving to the tip number 5, and very important, use headings and subheadings in your answer. For an example, you have started a question that there are various measures which can be adopted to prevent soil erosion. Now the question was, how can we prevent soil erosion? We know that there are several methods. Instead of just writing it without any heading, you need to choose that, yes, my first one is counter plying. Okay, terrace farming. See how I have subheaded all my points. Strip cropping and shelter bills. Get it? So by this, if it is for 3 marker, I have added 4 points, right? And examiner is definitely going to give you a 3 mark over this question. Getting my point? Moving to the next important tip, the same tip, but difference based question should also always be answered like this, right? Question is, write the difference between organized and unorganized sector, draw a line between them, write the heading and write the points according to the marks limit, right? For an example, if it is for 3 marks, I have given 3 differences between the same. So whenever it is a difference based question, always choose to write answers by applying a line in between and giving a difference of the same. Getting my point? This was tip number 5 from my side. Hope you are enjoying and following each and every tip in future. And this is tip number 6. Yes. Consider you are an examiner, right? And I give you answer in such a way, right? You are having a lack of time because you have so many copies to check. But now you have to read it whole to identify if the student has written it right or wrong. Then what you will do? Will you waste the time? No, you will give little less marks in that, right? So this method of writing your answer in paragraph is always a wrong method, right? Always choose to write your answers in points like this. For an example, in this I have given 5 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one very important tip that I want to give you, do not make your points repetitive. It will definitely affect your answers, right? All the points should have a different meaning, different approach to that answer, because like the Balkan was a region of geographical and ethnic variation, is a different meaning, right? This region was ruled by Ottomans. They were fiercely jealous of each other. Because of rivalry, there were many. One wanted to hold the territories, and at last it led to the fighting in the region, ultimately First World War. All the 5 points here are different from each other. So whenever make it in the points, do not use paragraph, and this is how you are going to get full marks in your answer writing. Okay, this was step number 6. Moving ahead with follow introduction, points and conclusion rule. This is basically one of the best method you should apply in every subject, not only in SST, right? If you are writing an answer, always follow to give an introduction. For example, here is a question: what are the steps taken by French revolutionaries to raise the feeling of nationalism among the individuals? Give an intro that the steps taken by, okay, steps taken by French revolutionaries are as follows, right? Now, if it is for 3 marks, okay, now if it is for 3 marks, write point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, and do not forget to conclude your answer that by the above points we have seen that people participated in French Revolution that resulted in the replacement of monarchy in France, right? We can conclude the answer with your points. If in case that particular topic has a quote written in your book, it will be very nice if you are adding that quote in conclusion. Okay, so this is the best method: introduction, points, conclusion. I definitely want every student to follow this, because you are going to thank me later if you follow this throughout the year. In every question you are getting in your exam. So follow this introduction, points and conclusion strategy. Not still ended, because we have here tip number 8. Very important. Do you think that examiners are getting, whenever they are getting the copies to check, they have ample of time? No, right? They are reading everything? No. They just get a blueprint of the answers where keywords of the NCERTs are written. And their favorite thing is if you are writing NCERT keywords, right? We know that reading whole NCERT and learning it thoroughly is very difficult. I always tell you that after reading NCERT, make a short note where you are mentioning all the keywords, right? Whenever you are reading NCERT, prepare a question that from this topic, this question can come. And I will write this NCERT keywords in my answer. If you are presenting the same, I definitely can tell you, no one gonna take your marks from your exams, right? So yes, use NCERT keywords and highlight them is very important. What you need to do this, you need to write the important words and do not highlight everything. We have seen copies in which everything is being highlighted, it is being underlined. No. What you need to do, you need to highlight your answers by underlining the important keywords. Like here, what we have seen, the question is about how can we increase the employment. So we can do this by increasing tourism, okay, or regional craft. So I just have underlined the word tourism. A study by Planning Commission says that if tourism as a sector is improved, each year we can give additional employment. Now see, Planning Commission, tourism and additional employment, that's it. Okay, so highlight the keywords which are NCERT keywords. At one glance, examiner can see the keyword and give you full marks. Okay, this is very, very smart strategy. Moving to tip number 9, map work. You know that this map work is for 5 marks. Okay, easy to get 5 marks for SST preparation, right? I can say that it is a benefit for every student there that they can get 5 marks with the help of map. But still you are using the wrong method to mark in maps. For example, the questions were such that you need to mark a place where Kheda uprising has took place or peasant protest was done by Gandhian Satyagrah. Okay, now you need to mark Kheda. What you have done here, you have written 2. Then in the paper itself, in the map itself, you are writing the Kheda place. Okay, again you are doing the same for Chauri Chaura, Amritsar, Champaran. This do you think that this looks good? No, this looks so ugly and very bad. Rather, what you need to do, use symbols in your map work. Beta, this is needed to be followed in your exams. Use symbols like this, right? If it is not visible, I'm going to make you more visible. Look what you need to do. For an example, the first question here is mark a IT park. It is in Maharashtra. Okay. So now you need to mark what? Pune. So what you can do, use a symbol of this. Use a symbol like this. Okay. You have choose to make a circle. Right. Make a circle over here and write Pune. Getting my point? Now, they have asked you about a coal mine. Okay, coal mine in Jharkhand. Make a triangle, mark that triangle in map and write here the name of that coal mine. Right? Similarly, you can use for a port. Like for a port, you are using a symbol star. For a dam, you are using the symbol square. So, use different symbols. Here in the corner of the map, write them and just mark the symbols so that your map is very, very clean, tidy and easy to get marks. Okay. It is not only required to keep your copy tidy, fancy. Rather, it is also the map work required to be clean. Okay. I don't tell you that your writing should be so fancy. Rather, it should be clean and tidy at the very important point. Okay. And here the last strategy that is very important to recheck the answer copy. This is the reason in priority I have given the time management to you, because if you are giving for 1 marker 1 minute, right, and the time I just told you, you will save your time to recheck your answer copy, right? Last 10 minutes should not be passed in such a way that you are writing something in hurry and examiner is going to grab your answer copy. No. Rather than that, you should be calm at that time, right? You should choose to underline the keywords in this 10 minutes. Right? You should check the spellings of names, dates and places, because we don't want to lose marks for such a silly mistakes that is usually made in writing wrong spellings, wrong names, etc. Okay, we can't give over marks on this thing, beta. And ensure that your diagrams are properly labeled or not. I would suggest that if you are left with the time, reread all the answers. Okay, if you reread and find any mistake, this is the good time you can correct it. So basically, I think I have given you 10 important presentation tips that are going to prove a killer strategy for your exam preparation. We know that we are in the mid of September. Your first half yearly might be going on. You're going to get pre-boards in your future and final exams in somewhere March. So right now you need to keep this 10 presentation skills in your minds to secure full marks in all your upcoming exams. Comment that yes ma'am, we promise that we are going to follow all the skills because they are very, very helpful. We will be back with more such strategy videos. You just need to do one thing: subscribe Diksha Vedantu to get notified by every video. Here we are giving one shot explanation for SST, science and maths. Very soon you are going to get rapid revisions also. So stay connected. Thank you for being the part of Diksha Vedantu.